So our project's building upon something called QLEVER. QLEVER is a powerful engine for running queries in different knowledge bases that are organized as knowledge graphs. So you can run on Wikidata, on Uniprot, on Pubchem. There are a variety of resources, and each of the resources in this platform, they follow a set of examples that gives you encyclopedic information. For example, you could search Wikidata for German cities and their names and get information, right? GBIF is available on the web on many different formats, but as before our project, there was no public SPARQL endpoint to do this kind of queries or queries that connected to these different resources. So in this project, we actually worked together to convert the GBIF dataset into a RDF version and upload on this SPARQL endpoint, which allows us to do some interesting queries using the GBIF structure and the occurrences structured information to ask questions to the dataset. For example, here we are asking which entries in the platform are homonyms, but they come from different kingdoms, right? If I run this query, I can see that it does some calculation on the background, and then you see that, for example, Agrilus is related to both a genus in the animal kingdom and in the plant kingdom, right? And there are many examples of names that follow this pattern, and it's one of the types of questions that you can ask with this SPARQL endpoint. You can also ask things that bridge GBIF and other resources. This is very powerful. So this, for example, is a query for lions that occur outside protected areas. This is very hard to do if you don't have this kind of resources. It would include a huge amount of mathematics and integration between heterogeneous sources. But if I execute here, it will run. Eventually I could click here and open this map where I can see heat maps or the objects that are the coordinate locations for lion sightings that are outside protected areas. And the labels of protected areas comes from the OpenStreetMap database, right? So here's the result. It ran in 18 seconds. You could, for example, also add the names in the query for different species that are invasive in Europe. And by running this setup, you could see the occurrences of these species all over Europe, right? You can write these queries manually. You can go to ui.qlever.dev/gbif and look at the examples and adapt the different examples for your use cases. But you could also ask an LLM or your preferred AI mechanism to write these queries for you. They work very well if you give them some examples, or even build platforms upon the data. So for example, here it was a semi-vibe coded platform that I can select a particular GBIF entry, a country, and look for nature reserves or all areas. Click map it, wait for it to run, and now I have all the Licina entries in Brazil. And I could, if I wanted, filter it by only the nature reserves and find this invasive species occurrence inside protected areas in Brazil. It takes a while to run, but in the end it appears and it's really nice. Here's another example of something that can be done with this kind of data set now that we did the big work of converting it into RDF and uploading a SPARQL endpoint. Here we have a list of different invasive species in Europe, and we can run this through time and see how they spread. Load and play here, up here. Vespa velutina, and if I run here, I can see how the GBIF occurrences for this particular species are annotated through time, right? And this is it. I hope this can be useful for you. You can play around, add different queries. All the code is open source, so contributions are welcome, and adaptations for different use cases are equally welcome. And we can't wait to see what we will do with this new resource. Thank you.